What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we got to talk about Robert Pattinson, talk about the Batman movie. Now, I don't want to sound insensitive, and so I'm going to really try hard to make it, not like that in this video. And at the end of the day, I really am not. I do care way more about his health, more about him as a person, and more about any of those, actors, actresses, anybody working on that movie, more as people than the movie itself. But I do want to talk about the film. So, and we're going to have to dance like we've never danced before around certain words, right? Because I'm going to be very careful not to mention the specific word. YouTube doesn't like it. I don't like saying it, and so we're going to avoid it as if it was the plague, okay? Which you could argue, right? So he obviously got it. He was the rumored, a few days ago, there was rumors that somebody on set had this, okay, got it, and nobody was really saying who. There were all these anonymous sources saying they don't even know who, and then obviously, bam, it was announced that technically, it was all through rumors and quote-unquote sources, but sources say that it was him that obviously has it, right? So that's a big deal. That sucks that actually, if you're thinking about the movie specifically, or even about his health, we know that this can actually impact you down the line, even when you're fine with it. At the same time, it can have next to no impact. You could have it and not even know that you have it. You could show absolutely no symptoms. You could be completely fine. Obviously, again, even from a human being perspective, hoping for that one, hoping that he's completely cool, that something just happened, got the test, said that he was positive, whatever, you know what I mean? And but maybe he didn't feel it, nothing like that. I really do hope, just again, as an individual. And then from a movie perspective, well, it does suck. And really, the movie being delayed could potentially be delayed. I think it's possible. We've heard that they're going to shut down for 2 weeks. However, yesterday there were rumors that Matt Reeves is going to continue filming, that they're going to try to film just without Robert Pattinson, do the body double, or the stunt double, do any other scenes that they could possibly get done that doesn't have him in it. So try to basically keep busy, but they're going to have to, I believe, be without him, Robert Pattinson, their Batman, for 2 weeks, for at least 2 weeks. And again, that's only 2 weeks depending on what happens. So that's really the make or break to me. When we talk about what happens to the movie, I think the only reason I would say it could be delayed, because in all reality, if he comes back in 2 weeks, everything's cool. Again, he didn't feel it. Nothing really happened, because that's happened to millions and millions of people, by the way. Okay, that is not like a rarity. That's happened all the time. Okay, so if he does come back, he's fine. I really don't think they lose much in those 2 weeks. Again, you could probably come up with a lot of other things to do in terms of filming a movie in 2 weeks, even though you don't have your main character. Movies have done it before multiple times, and for the most part, they're not unaffected, but they're not affected all that much. Okay, now if he comes back, if he can't come back in 2 weeks, if he comes back in a month and a half, in 2 months, that's when you really start to see, or when you probably start to get to the realization that, yeah, they're not going to be able to do it. Remember, this movie was delayed till October of 2021, so they only have a year and a month to do this. They have to still film. Filming was supposed to go, I believe, for like another 2 full months, so hopefully that happens, which means you get, doing the math, right? They're giving themselves around 11-ish months for like post-production, getting the movie ready, all that kind of stuff. The longer it takes to film it, the longer they, if they can maybe shorten that post-production length as much as possible, that could be, they could do that. Honestly, even if you want to look at positives in that way, you could look at, well, maybe, they said they shot 25% of the film already. I would assume that the production stuff on that, the post-production stuff on that, is relatively done. You know what I mean? And that is actually a benefit of taking like a 4-month break during all this, as Matt Reeves even talked about it. He had a lot of time to say, do I like these scenes? Are we going to have to do, reshoot, stuff like that? A lot of that stuff is already in his head, right? And again, you saw the trailer. It looks very, very good. But the point is that they put that stuff together, and I'm sure they've been able to do stuff like that over the last couple months. So maybe they can shave some time off of post-production that otherwise they wouldn't have been able to, right? Same kind of thing even for maybe not necessarily James Gunn's Suicide Squad, because that was already done filming, right? So, I'm looking for the positives. I'm looking, and again, I don't want to seem so single-minded that all I can think of is, is this Batman movie. Obviously, Robert Pattinson as an individual, I wish the best for him. I hope, he gets better. I actually would prefer that if he has it, he doesn't even feel anything at all, right? Like he wouldn't even have known known that he has it. But in general, it is kind of just a frustrating thing you see with the movie industry with what's happened. Everything has been shut down. It's just been bad in terms of, if you're into films, you're into television, you're into basically anything that has to do with filming. Even motion capture in games had to be very much slowed down. Now it's starting to pick back up again, but it was close. Everything was done for quite some time, and that sucks. To not be able to see these things being made. I think we're so used to all just production of all of these different franchises happening all the time and constantly getting stuff, and we're now living in a world the past 3, 4, 5 months where that hasn't happened. Now it's starting to again. And then this is kind of, I don't know, do you guys look to this movie as like the beacon of hope for film, like for filming? I mean, Avatar 2, I think, is a good example. There are other films and other TV shows starting, filming back up again. Some have been going actually for several weeks. A lot of them are actually starting up in September. Like, that gives me hope, trying to return to some kind of normal, right? That's kind of what I look at it. I do look at this Batman movie as one of those examples where, again, movies have already started filming a couple weeks ago. Like, they had the head start on the Batman, and there are going to be many, many others that are. In fact, Uncharted even has been filming for quite some time. But this Batman movie is a big one. I think Avatar 2 maybe has the thing about it that's a bigger film overall. But, I mean, this is a big project. This is something that so many people, obviously myself, you guys, right, we're all very, very excited for this Batman movie. And then to see it, 3 days in this happened. They said they only filmed like 2 days, and on the third day this happened. That really sucks, and it kind of just takes any wind out of the sails of recovery, or like the feeling of recovery, the feeling that we can go back to some kind of normal routine. And then for this to happen, I think that's the biggest thing for me. Not even that the movie could be delayed. Obviously, Robert Pattinson's the first thing. Again, I don't want to seem like I don't care about him. He's the first thing. He's the most important thing in terms of this situation, right? Hopefully he gets better, all that stuff. But then even after that, not even just the Batman movie potentially being delayed. Obviously, that would suck if it got. And by the way, I feel like where it is in the release schedule, I don't know if you would delay it just like 1 month. I feel like maybe you'd have to look into putting it into very early 2022 territory, which would suck. That would really just be, I don't know, that'd be like a hit to all of us DC fans, all of us Batman fans that have been patiently and are going to have to wait longer than we would have, right? So that's a big deal. But also just in the filming industry in general, it takes the wind out of the sails where it's like, we're trying to get all these projects back up, and some of them are, and some of them will be over the next couple weeks or the next couple months. But if this starts popping up here and there, and this is the first, sign that it potentially could, then that really, it's going to slow them down again. It's going to shut things down again, and that really, really sucks. So hopefully we can just bid a farewell to all of this very, very soon. Hopefully we do. But guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Was this a surprise to you? Are you disappointed? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And I actually, funny enough, was planning on making more of the Batman, film videos for this channel, discussing the movie. I will, and especially as we get closer, I'll continue to talk about the movie. I love talking about films. I've done it, for many, many years. I just haven't done it as of late because everything's been delayed. But I absolutely will cover this movie more. This is not the way that I wanted to cover this movie, but hopefully we get to talk about some different things going forward, okay? Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you all on the next video.